This is a grammatical sentence formation course being taught by M. Kadrivali Chennai. Dear friends, are you ready? Today, we are going to see Fluency in English, part 59. You just note out the heading Fluency in English, part 59. Fluency in English, part 59. Fluency means what? You may ask me. Fluency is nothing but the quality of being able to speak English fluently without any hesitation. That means what? When you think, you have to speak. When you think, you have to speak. That is called fluency. I'm sure I will train you in a systematic way to get fluency in English without any grammatical errors. Only thing is, you have to listen with the concentration. That is very, very important. That is the key to improve your communication in English. The main heading is Fluency in English, under which we see various usages. In that order, now we are going to see future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect continuous tense is nothing but futureலே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி futureலே நடந்து futureலே போய்கிட்டு இருக்கும். Understand? futureலே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி futureலே நடந்து futureலே போய்கிட்டு இருக்கும். I will raise as many questions as possible in future perfect continuous tense using the modal auxiliary verb shall or will plus have plus been plus main verb with ing. Understand? When will we use future perfect continuous tense? Future perfect continuous tense is used for an action which will be in progress over a period of time in the future. Future perfect continuous tense is used for an action which will be in progress over a period of time in the future. That means what? Futureலே start பண்ணி futureலே நடந்து futureலே போய்கிட்டு இருக்கும். This you have to keep in mind. Shall we start? Okay. I will take a translation for the first sentence. After that you can understand. Okay. Mr. Ganesh, will you have been traveling by Tamil Nadu Express to Delhi by this time next Saturday? Will you have been traveling by Tamil Nadu Express to Delhi by this time next Saturday? Next Saturday, இந்நேரமெல்லாம் நீங்க டெல்லிக்கு தமிழ்நாடு எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் மூலமாக டிராவல் பண்ணி கொண்டிருந்திருப்பீங்களா? Yes, we will have been traveling by Tamil Nadu Express to Delhi by this time next Saturday. Yes, we will have been traveling by Tamil Nadu Express to Delhi by this time next Saturday. Yes, next Saturday இந்நேரமெல்லாம் நாங்கள் டெல்லிக்கு தமிழ்நாடு எக்ஸ்பிரஸ்ல டிராவல் பண்ணி கொண்டிருப்போம். This is the translation for this usage. Understand? Hereafter you can understand in the same method. Shall I repeat them? Okay. Mr. Ganesh, will you have been traveling by Tamil Nadu Express to Delhi by this time next Saturday? Yes, we will have been traveling by Tamil Nadu Express to Delhi by this time next Saturday. Mr. Santosh, will you have been going to Madurai by car by this time tomorrow? Will you have been going to Madurai by car by this time tomorrow? Yes, I will have been going to Madurai by car by this time tomorrow. Yes, I will have been going to Madurai by car by this time tomorrow. Mr. Hari, will our director have been visiting Singapore by this time next week? Will our director have been visiting Singapore by this time next week? Yes, our director will have been visiting Singapore by this time next week. Yes, our director will have been visiting Singapore by this time next week. Mr. Prabhu, will your younger brother have been studying in Chennai for 7 years when your parents visit him from Singapore tomorrow? Will your younger brother have been studying in Chennai for 7 years when your parents visit him from Singapore tomorrow? No, he will have been studying in Chennai for 5 years when my parents visit him from Singapore tomorrow. No, she will have been studying in Chennai for 5 years when my parents visit him from Singapore tomorrow. Mr. Prakash, will you have been residing here for 10 years by the end of this month? Will you have been residing here for 10 years by the end of this month? Yes, we will have been residing here for 10 years by the end of this month. Yes, we will have been residing here for 10 years by the end of this month. Mr. Prakash, will your uncle have been teaching maths for engineering students by this time next Monday? Will your uncle have been teaching maths for engineering students by this time next Monday? Yes, she will have been teaching maths for engineering students by this time next Monday. Yes, she will have been teaching maths for engineering students by this time next Monday. Mr. Prasad, will they have been constructing those apartments for 3 years by June 2023? Will they have been constructing those apartments for 3 years by June 2023? Yes, they will have been constructing those apartments for 3 years by June 2023. Yes, they will have been constructing those apartments for 3 years by June 2023. Will your aunt have been working in IIT for 15 years by the end of this year? Will your aunt have been working in IIT for 15 years by the end of this year? No, she will have been working in IIT for 12 years by the end of this year. No, she will have been working in IIT for 12 years by the end of this year. Mr. Mani, will our director have been giving a lecture at Thangavadi Engineering College by this time next Saturday? Will our director have been giving a lecture at Thangavadi Engineering College by this time next Saturday? Yes, our director will have been giving a lecture at Thangavadi Engineering College by this time next Saturday. Yes, our director will have been giving a lecture at Thangavadi Engineering College by this time next Saturday. Mr. Ganesh, will your aunt have been taking tuition for plus 2 students by this time next Sunday? Will your aunt have been taking tuition for plus 2 students by this time next Sunday? Yes, she will have been taking tuition for plus 2 students by this time next Sunday. Yes, she will have been taking tuition for plus 2 students by this time next Sunday. Mr. Vinod, will they have been living here for 20 years by next March? Will they have been living here for 20 years by next March? No, they will have been living here for 17 years by next March. No, they will have been living here for 17 years by next March. Mr. Swami, will you have been writing a bank examination at a center in Annanagar by this time next Saturday? Will you have been writing a bank examination at a center in Annanagar by this time next Saturday? No, I will have been writing a bank examination at a center in Annanagar by this time next Sunday. No, I will have been writing a bank examination at a center in Annanagar by this time next Sunday. Mr. Murugan, will your father have been working in IIT for 35 years? By the time he retires from his service, will your father have been working in IIT for 35 years? By the time he retires from his service? No, he will have been working in IIT for 32 years by the time he retires from his service. No, he will have been working in IIT for 32 years by the time he retires from his service. Mr. Ramu, will he have been driving for more than 15 hours straight by the time he gets here? Will he have been driving for more than 15 hours straight by the time he gets here? No, he will have been driving for more than 17 hours straight by the time he gets here. No, he will have been driving more than 17 hours straight by the time he gets here. Mr. Santosh, will he have been working with us for 15 years by the end of this year? Will he have been working with us for 15 years by the end of this year? Yes, he will have been certainly working with us for 15 years by the end of this year. Yes, he will have been certainly working with us for 15 years by the end of this year. Ms. Ari, will she have been working in our company for 5 years by the end of November? Will she have been working in our company for 5 years by the end of November? Yes, she will have been working in our company for 5 years by the end of November. Yes, she will have been working in our company for 5 years by the end of November. Mr. Prabhu, will your father have been writing this book for 1 year by next month? Will your father have been writing this book for 1 year by next month? No, he will have been writing this book for 9 months by next month. No, he will have been writing this book for 9 months by next month. Mr. Prabhu, will your uncle have been staying at Pandian Hotel in Madurai by this time next Sunday? Will your uncle have been staying at Pandian Hotel in Madurai by this time next Sunday? No, he will have been staying at Santosh Hotel in Madurai by this time next Sunday. No, he will have been staying at Santosh Hotel in Madurai by this time next Sunday. Mr. Prakash, will you have been finishing this work by the end of this week? Will you have been finishing this work by the end of this week? Yes, I will have been finishing this work by the end of this week. Yes, I will have been finishing this work by the end of this week. Mr. Prasad, will your uncle have been teaching finance for MBA students when you come here on Saturday evening? Will your uncle have been teaching finance for MBA students when you come here on Saturday evening? Yes, he will have been teaching finance for MBA students when I come there on Saturday evening. Yes, he will have been teaching finance for MBA students when I come there on Saturday evening. Mr. Ganesh, will your friend Mr. Prasad have been waiting for you at the Village railway station for 1 hour? When you go there now, will your friend Prasad have been waiting for you at the Village railway station for 1 hour? When you go there now? No, he will have been waiting for me at the Village railway station for half an hour only when I go there now. No, he will have been waiting for me at the Village railway station for half an hour only when I go there now. Mr. Swami, will your uncle have been playing cards there for 3 hours when he leaves for lunch at 2 o'clock? Will you have been playing cards there for 3 hours when he leaves for lunch at 2 o'clock? Yes, he will have been playing cards there for 3 hours when he leaves for lunch at 2 o'clock. Yes, he will have been playing cards there for 3 hours when he leaves for lunch at 2 o'clock. Mr. Ganesh, will he have been sleeping for 12 hours by the time his mother wakes him up at 10 o'clock now? Will he have been sleeping for 12 hours by the time his mother wakes him up at 10 o'clock now? Yes, he will have been sleeping for 12 hours by the time his mother wakes him up at 10 o'clock now. Yes, he will have been sleeping for 12 hours by the time his mother wakes him up at 10 o'clock now. Mr. Hari, will your elder brother have been enjoying a party with his friends at a restaurant when I come there to meet him this evening? Will your elder brother have been enjoying a party with his friends at a restaurant when I come there to meet him this evening? Yes, he will have been enjoying a party with his friends at a restaurant when you come here to meet him this evening. Yes, he will have been enjoying a party with his friends at a restaurant when you come here to meet him this evening. Mr. Prabhu, will they have been doing some woodwork in your flat when the manager visits your flat tomorrow afternoon? Will they have been doing some woodwork in your flat when the manager visits your flat tomorrow afternoon? Yes, they will have been doing some woodwork in our flat when the manager visits our flat tomorrow afternoon. Yes, they will have been doing some woodwork in our flat when the manager visits our flat tomorrow afternoon. Mr. Prakash, will all the staff members have been attending a meeting by the time we go there? Will all the staff members have been attending a meeting by the time we go there? Yes, all the staff members will have been attending a meeting by the time we go there. Yes, all the staff members will have been attending a meeting by the time we go there. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Did you listen with the concentration? Okay. Let me finish up to this level. Thank you very much for having attended this class continuously. If you like this course, if you are interested in attending this class, if it creates any positive vibration in your mind, please share with your friends and others. It will definitely, certainly and surely make my dreams realized. I will meet you this time tomorrow. Until then, goodbye. M. Kadrivedu. Thank you.